Hey guys, welcome back. We are at Rise of the Guardians, and I am here with JP, Army Insider. And he actually, we went out to dinner last night. We hung out and had some amazing stories to share, talking about some weird timeline slip stuff. But he's been in some secret projects in the military, and we did a recent interview with him on our show a month or two ago.
Oh, yeah, I did good.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so basically just kind of give the audience a brief rundown of like what your time was like in the military and what kind of access you had to these secret programs.
So I had a great time in the military. I've been through a lot of things that a lot of people that when they're in the military, they don't go through.
Yeah.
I think the training that I went through was different from other people. And I actually went through the training when COVID was happening.
Right.
So most of those soldiers did not have a graduation. It was the first time in the history of the Army that they did not have a graduation for the batch that I graduated. I still got my DVD. I still got my rings. You know, I graduated from the military.
They just didn't hold the ceremony.
They didn't hold the ceremony. And I noticed that most of those soldiers, too, have been going through similar experience that I have been going through.
Oh, really?
So it's amazing that the people that are going through these situations or these experiences, they didn't have a graduation. Like, they didn't want to register their faces or nothing like that. It's not found nowhere.
Right. And then you found yourself accessing or having access to some special access programs and involving some extraterrestrials, some arcs, space arcs, underground bases. You know, what was that like discovering that all that was a reality?
After I went for training, I went for my MOS training, Fort Lee, Virginia. From there, I went to airborne school with the Recons, the Rangers, the Green Berets. I went on Fort Benning, Georgia, to do my airborne school. And then out of nowhere, I got my duty station, 7th Special Forces Group, Special Forces Unit. So for my, I was a unicorn in my job field in that unit. I dealt with water purification and chemical warfare type of job that I brought to the field.
Right.
And I dealt with the aspens, I dealt with the twips, basically converting any kind of water to drinking water.
Right.
I did a little bit work in NASA, NASCIAS. I got a medal for it. I could show it. I could send you the medal, and you can show it to. It's a Army Marine medal, a Navy Marine medal.
Right.
So out of nowhere, when I wear my medal, like, how the hell you get a Navy Marine medal? It's like, you know.
Right.
So, and during that time, you get calls or meet in this place. So 2 or 3 guys, we go out. Either the captain or some other high-ranking dude calls in, and he says, "Hey, you're gonna get a text. Go to that place and meet up." You go there, you change to black tactical. They have everything for you already. The Army already fitted you with clothes, so they have that all set up. Your sizes, your everything, and they give you your clothes, and you change to the black tactical gear, and you meet up with other people that are higher ranking. It's a mixture of people, a mixture of it's not just Army. It's a mixture of branches as well.
Right.
Some people think it's just Army, but if we come to the history of what is all the branches, everything branched it out from the Army.
Right. Yeah,
So,
it's just the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
And so it's all above the public eye. They're all working together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're all working together. And, you know, I never saw nothing shady. Everything was direct. Everything was, now when we interacted with ETs, there was other people involved, you know, that they do seem shady.
Right.
Like you could tell that they've been doing it for a long time. This is a different group of people.
Right.
They don't care. They'll put you in a helicopter and drop you off somewhere else with concrete feet in the ocean. You know, they don't care.
Right.
I don't know who controls that, but when I went in with the military personnel, we were good. You know, we follow orders and we do what is told to do. And what we were told to do was not nothing, you know, like killing anybody or nothing like that.
Right.
You know, it was more like investigating a site or going through a place that, you know, it was protected by these other people.
So what kind of ET beings did you come across? Like the first one that you saw? What was it?
Nordics. They look like us. They can walk among us. I seen grays. I seen reptilians. Reptilians. They kind of look like their skin is like a, how can I put this? Like a cuttlefish. They have the ability to change colors and change the temperature of their skin. You know, but they also can change by changing the color spectrum of their face. They can look human. So it's kind of weird, but they can look human.
So it's like a chameleon type of thing?
Yeah, cuttlefish. Like compared to a cuttlefish.
Yeah,
okay. Like camouflaging.
Right. So they can just, I guess it tricks your visual cortex, so you see a human, but it's really a reptilian.
Yeah. So I say this a lot. Light speed is 186,242 miles per second. So when it enters into your eye, it slows down 35%.
Okay.
So that 35% that we're missing is what changes.
Right.
In the spectrum that when we see these beings.
It's almost like a delay when you're watching live TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have time to censor or whatever. Interesting. Very interesting. So, and I believe that, you know, some of the infrastructure, maybe the towers or like the movie They Live, there's a frequency that helps us help keep us in a lower state so we don't see that.
Yeah.
See through it. But so you encountered Nordics. Did you work with them or you just...
I worked with the Nordics. I talked with Nordics. I have transported Nordics to another location to change their future for them to walk among us. I have seen their ships. I have entered into their ships and also into the military style back engineer type of ships. I have been to places that they're in charge, archaeologically.
Right.
You know, so now all these files that are dropping, you know, when you see a furniture and you see the dust on top of the furniture, that dust is what's coming out right now.
Right.
So when we get into what's inside the furniture, when we open up the furniture, those drops are going to be the disclosure of the grunts. You know, we have the disclosure of the captains. Oh, yes, we can see these ships flying around. But when you have the disclosure of the grunts, that's when you find out, yeah, these people were told what to do. And these people have been through these experiences.
Right.
You know, so, and, you know, that's why I was talking with Emery. I know you saw us talking in the back, you know, and I like to be transparent. We're talking about, wow, when these major disclosure happens, people are going to be shocked because we have been through a lot in our life, you know, and a lot of people really don't understand how military life is. You know, there's certain things that you say and can say that can get you in trouble. So we have to learn how to say it in, you know, in codes, you know, even though we already said a lot, you know, I talked about my experience. I've been talking to Dr. Sala since 2008.
Right. Yeah.
It's been an amazing ride. I tell you that.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you like what your thoughts were on these files. So you do think that we are going to get something deeper along the line?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got technology that, and I said it in other interviews that, like, say you're here right now, right?
Yeah.
You when you leave this chair, you're going to leave a data in the air. You're going to leave your frequency of light, your frequency, your voice is going to be bouncing off the walls infinity of times. You have to travel around the world. Everywhere you have been, you left a frequency of data. So in these ancient ruins that we go, these ETs, they have left frequency of data. We have technology that can pick up these data, or these ships, they feel biological, like living things. They leave a data as well.
Right.
On top of that, also different animals leave their data behind around. So we got machines that is going to come out soon that can pick up, or satellites that can pick up where you have been around the world, where you're staying. And when you pass, guess what? This data is still there. Your frequency is still moving around. That's where where we get to the interdimensional or spiritual realm, poltergeist, or your spirit is still around.
Wow.
You're still moving around and not knowing what timeline you're in.
So you're leaving an energetic trail everywhere you go.
It's a replay.
And they detect it.
Yeah.
And so even when you transition, they still follow your signature.
Oh yeah. Where you've been.
Right. Interesting. So what kind of...
Can't hide.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna scare a lot of people.
Right.
That we have this technology. You can't hide. You like anywhere that you have been or...
Right. Well, we already can't really, but it's even, they take it a step further.
Oh yeah. But this is with a ET technology release.
Right. Right.
That portion.
Yeah.
You know.
So as far as off-world bases, like on the moon or Mars, do you recall any missions going off planet?
I recall seeing Jupiter. I recall seeing Saturn. We got massive ships over there. The moon of Jupiter of Ganymede. Right. I felt the energy, the vibration of Jupiter. Right. I felt it. I feel it. I was there.
And then what do you tell the normal, average, everyday person that has been manipulated into believing space is fake right now?
Well, look at now the releases. What the White House is releasing now. The Department of War was releasing everything that's released right now about ETs and why we're releasing it now. Right. And this is something that we're talking in the table, yesterday. We were talking about how all this is going to affect consciousness around the world. Right. The release of these is changing the consciousness. Yeah. 3 people out of 10 people are talking about ETs and UFOs now. Right.
Yeah. And I think whether or not they're talking against it or for it, they're still talking about it. Yeah. And it's there. The seed has been planted and it's not going anywhere. And I still see a lot of people in denial, especially a lot of the religious communities and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Not too long ago, they were talking about the pastors. Yeah. They brought great leaders, and I know these great leaders. They're stationed in Texas, Florida, and other places. Paula White, she's the director of the religious part of the White House. She's in charge. She was I'm sure she was part of that group. And the way that they're gonna, and I think the Pope already talked about this, about these living entities that we have to treat like brothers and sisters, and it's true. When we get into the Bible and how, I think in Mark chapter, I don't know, talks about when Jesus spoke to a guy that was possessed. Right. And he put these legions into the pigs, and the pigs ran off the cliff and into the oceans. Right. These beings are spiritual beings. Right. And are interdimensional. The thing is that why religion is going to be involved, because these beings have been doing stuff that really look what a demonic spirit would do. Right. And what they depict, what they picked of what the spiritual beings they do. Right. And it's true. They can get inside of you, control your consciousness, and make you do something that you don't want to do. And that's the scary part about it. Right. There's certain people out in the world, I'm not going to say names, and say, hey, I'm not going to take myself away from this planet. And out of nowhere, it happens. Right. These beings, we have to be careful. These beings have been around for thousands and thousands of years. They can read us like a book, back and forth. And that's what's happening, I think. And I think Disclosure Day with Steven Spielberg, that's going to bring a lot of light of what these beings are and how they manipulate the consciousness of humans and even animals. Right. It's crazy. So there's a dark and a light side to all of it. Yeah. And are you aware of any positive factions that are assisting in this awakening, maybe that you've encountered in the military? Yeah. There's a lot of positive faction. The information is going to come out. There's, the universe, you have to have a good and bad in order for it to exist. Right, the duality, yeah. Yeah, it's part of life. It's part of whoever created this universe. Right. So you could be doing something good, and you're doing good, but because of what you did, somebody else could probably suffer for years. Yeah. So like that butterfly effect. Sure, so sure. It goes either way. I could do something good and you can suffer for years, and it's good for me, but for you and your perspective, your your universe, your mind, your consciousness for you is like hell, you know?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it goes either way. Disclosure is going to affect a lot
Yeah.
how we see the world, and I think it's going to connect us more as humans of who we are when we realize that yes, when people, we know, but when people realize there's other beings out there, we got to treat each other better,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I think that's going to be part of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to be connected more as humans instead of going to wars and shit.
Right, realizing our oneness, and
Yeah.
once a lot of people's, like, everyone's foundational belief systems are kind of being undermined right now, and once people go through that dark night of the soul, and they do the shadow work and come out the other side, then they're ready, okay, to understand and expand their mind. So I think we're at the beginning of that now, and people like you are coming forward doing great things. So
And of course, they're going to bring the Independence Day scenario,
right,
to unite us even more.
right,
But I think that part is going to be uniting us for something negative to destroy these ETs that have been visiting us for thousands of years and
right,
teaching us
right,
the journey to the truth.
right. Yeah, well, it seems that there's groups out there that want us to believe they're all negative, and then they're a threat, but then there's a groups helping us, and that's the ones that we need to remember and learn how to connect with. So,
but I think most of the groups, they're gonna be surprised. They're good groups.
Yeah.
They're good. The negative are the ones that are connected more to the spiritual, interdimensional.
right,
But there's good groups in that portion as well.
right,
That we can distinguish who's good and who's bad.
Yeah.
Who's a manipulator, who's not manipulating, you
Right.
know? But the beings that we can be able to see and the beings that are walking among us, yes, they probably have their agenda, but it's like us, everybody has an agenda.
Yeah.
But they have shared a lot of things to help us out.
Yeah, I agree. We had the Native American, the Hopi elder last night talking about the Kachina and the Star people. They've been coming for generations, helping with the, sharing star wisdom with their people and all that stuff. So it's been happening forever, and we're just here now, finally getting some global, recognition for what has been for quite some time. So, thanks for joining me today, brother.
Hey, thank you, Tyler.
And
thank you for having me here, brother.
Quickly let everybody know where they can find you, website, and all that stuff.
Go to JP on YouTube, and then JP.missions on Instagram. I have all my links there, and go to exopolitics.org with Dr. Michael Sala. He has all the books right there about my experiences, and that's how it is.
Right. You gotta say it. It's on your hat.
Yeah.
Say it. JP out.
Akudi Amate. JP out.
JP out.